Hi GameStop. It's been a little bit since I chatted with you. My bad. I've just been very busy. Not like anybody cares to hear any of that, so let's just get into it. Today, I don't have a suggestion for you. Don't get me wrong. There's still tons I need to get through. It's just, that's not what I have today. Today, I wanted to talk about this. At this point, this is kind of old news. I saw this a couple weeks ago at this point, but GameInformer is being shut down. I mean, I think your last episode, or issue, whatever, was the August issue, and then that's it. You're not doing it anymore. Where is it? No longer been the digital version, no longer available, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I don't know, it doesn't really say. But, what the heck happened? I mean, for starters, you recently just had a promo to get the physical edition mailed to you for $19.91 a month. The $19.91 was supposed to represent something, I don't know what, maybe that's when Game Informer started, was $19.91, so you're selling it for $19.91 a year. But, and you had the digital version as well. This is kind of crazy. How did this happen? What happened? I just don't understand either why the result, though, is to straight up close it down. I mean, you guys, not for nothing, you really are my favorite magazine. I'm not even trying to, I don't know, be like pro GameStop and all that. It's just for real. I've enjoyed your magazine since like 2005. I remember when we used to get the double issues around the holidays. You know, I think the biggest one I ever had was 286 pages. Was it 286? Or maybe it was 189. I don't know. It was pretty thick, whatever it was. And then a lot of the ones we have nowadays are like 82 pages. And I'm like, man, I miss the days of when it was nice and thick and there was a lot to look at. But yeah, your magazine is awesome. Even when I go to Metacritic, there's two reviews that I like to find on Metacritic. Your review and IGN. I know, IGN's kind of goofy. A lot of people would hate on it. Understandably why. But for the most part, I've discovered that IGN and you guys have similar opinions to me. That's why I trust you. Like, for example, Spyro A Hero's Tale back in GameCube. Spyro on PlayStation 1 was one of my favorite games. Still is one of my favorite games. You know, the Reignited Trilogy came out and I bought that day one because it's Spyro. So when I had GameCube and I bought Hero's Tale, I was like, oh, Spyro, sweet. But when I played it, it wasn't the same. It was different. Didn't like it. It wasn't terrible. Like, I feel like if there was no previous Spyros, then it would have been a cool game. Or if I never played Spyro before and this was the first one I checked out, maybe I would have liked it more. But based on my experience that I had on PlayStation 1 with Spyro, it just didn't feel the same, so I didn't like it. Well, you guys gave Spyro A Hero's Tale like a 6.5 or a 6.75, somewhere around there, I forget. But, when I saw that, I was like, holy crap, that's kind of like what I would say. I'd probably give it a 6.5, 6.25, somewhere in that range. It's not terrible, but it's not great. And then I started to notice after that one, that was the first review I noticed I agreed with you on. And then I started to check out a lot of other reviews, and I started to see, yeah, I kind of think that too. Yeah, I think around there too. Yeah, maybe we're not spot on. Like, you might give a game a 9.5. Maybe I think it's only a 9. But, you know, still close enough. It's not like I think it's a 4 and you guys are giving it a 9, and I'm like... But yeah, so now I'm like, what am I going to look for on Metacritic now? Just IGN? I'm going to have to find another source that I trust. It's kind of sad. A lot of these video game magazines are like going out. I used to be subscribed to EGM. That's no longer available. Now you guys are no longer available. Nintendo Power is no longer available. What else did I like? There's one other one too that I got into later in its life cycle. So I never even got too many magazines. I subscribed and shortly thereafter it went out. This sucks. It's weird. Video games are a huge industry, and it just keeps getting bigger as time goes on with VR and mobile gaming and all this, but for some reason, the magazines are just dying off. I guess people just, don't care about reading or something anymore. That's just the video game. That's all they care about. It's kind of sad, though, especially with you guys. 33 years, that's pretty solid. I mean... Yeah, 1991, that would be 33 years. Okay, I answered my question from the beginning of the video. But anyways, yeah, that's solid. But it's just very disappointing. Like, I just don't know, though, why you guys have to straight up shut it down. What happened? Why can't you just go back to digital only? I hate digital. I was excited when you were offering 1991 for the physical. I'm sort of excited. I mean, on one hand, I'm like, we used to get this for free when you had a membership to the Power Up Rewards. You know, that kind of came with it. You paid $15, not for the GameStop membership, but for the subscription. Then you guys jumped it to $25 and then downgraded the magazine to digital. And now if you want the physical magazine, you have to pay $20 on top of that. But I don't want a dumb digital magazine. I don't want to read a magazine on a screen. I want to read a physical one that I can take with me wherever and hold it and look at it and fold the page and all that. So when that option came back, it was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna do this and I'll finally get my magazines back. And that was a few months ago I did this, and now you guys are going out of business? But anyways, my point is why can't you just go back to digital then? Why does it have to straight up be shut down? That's one. Two, was there any option that you could have sold it off? I mean, this I'm pretty sure, I don't know if GameInformer was always a GameStop brand or if it got bought out over time, but couldn't it have been sold? Did you just have, you know what I mean? Like, could you guys have just sold GameInformer? If you didn't want to support it anymore or anything, GameStop, I mean, doesn't want to support it or anything anymore, why couldn't you just sell it off or quite possibly let it become its own thing? You know, who knows? It could have been like a family-owned company. You have editors and everything. Maybe they would have pulled together to buy it, and then it's just their company. You know, it's kind of like the company I actually work for now. It was part of a much bigger company. I mean, a huge company still to this day. But the company wanted nothing to do with the sector that I now work in. And back in the 50s, they were just going to dissolve it. They were going to kill it, let it die off. They didn't care. But one of the employees there, I think he was the plant manager at the time, was like, hey, how about I just buy this branch off you guys, make it my own business, and yeah. And so the company was like, okay, if that's what you want to do. And so that sector still exists today because of back in the 50s when the original owner of my company bought out the company. So was that not an option, that somebody could have bought you guys out, bought out GameInformer, or you know, even like, I don't know, maybe couldn't you have partnered with anything? Maybe partnered with a newspaper. You know, they got columns and stuff. You get comic strips that are just one little portion of a page. Maybe you guys could have been like a small portion on like on a newspaper, one page. Really just reduced your magazine down to just reviews or something, and just be on one page of, I don't know what's a popular newspaper. I don't read newspapers, but you know, something. That's why I'm saying a popular one, like a big one that you guys will actually be able to get your message out there. So like the New York Times or New York Post or something, I don't know. Or what other options are there? I don't know, I really don't just think, why couldn't you just stay digital? I mean, digital would have saved you a lot of money. You don't have any overhead. Everybody could just work from home. So you don't need to have facilities anymore, which means you're not paying electric bills, you're not paying rent. Even if it's just property taxes, you don't have to pay that. You don't have to pay heating, cooling, you don't have to pay for a water bill if everybody's just remotely working. Also, you might be able to, this is kind of crappy, but at the same time, everybody just lost their job. So you might be able to even cut some staff, because if everybody's working from home, you know, maybe before there were secretaries and stuff, but now you don't need them because everybody's just at home by themselves. So you don't need a secretary. You know what I mean? Like, it's different when you're in a business and, well, I gotta be at my desk. Well, you're home. If you wanted coffee or something, just run in your kitchen and grab a coffee. So you could have saved money there. And then digital, obviously, you're saving money because you don't need to have the presses. Now you don't need to have presses running. You don't need to have, you know, the paper coming in, all that. It's just digital. You pop it up. You don't even need to have a subscription. You know what I mean? You don't have to send, like, currently the digital copies would show up to us individually in our emails, or at least that's how I got mine. You can just have it on your website, GameInformer.com. Boom, there's the issue. You want to read it? Boom, click. You don't even have to send it out to anybody. That makes it that much easier. You know, it's kind of like how the Pam and Tommy tape started back in the day, just on the website, and people would click. Same thing. You just post it once, and then everybody can look at it. I don't know. It's kind of crazy and disappointing that this is now no longer a thing. It's kind of ironic too, because during this period of, I don't know, the downfall of this magazine, I wasn't getting the physical copy anymore. I was getting only the digital, which I hated, and I'd go to GameStop and see the new physical copy there, and I'd just buy it, because I was like, well, I don't want the dumb digital, and this is kind of annoying that I have a subscription, but now I gotta buy this, but I buy it just to have it. So I'm like, well, I guess in a way there's that. I mean, I do have like the past year and a half worth of magazines from buying them. I don't know. What? The other thing I started to think about too was, you know, this was a part of the Power Up Rewards program. Even though you guys got rid of the physical, it was still a digital bonus to being a member. So like, what happens now? You guys increased the price to $25, and that still included a digital magazine. So is the price going to go down to maybe $20, or what's happening with that? Because you might lose members now just because of this going out. I'm not saying I'll dip, but some people might, so you might